My name is Steve Arendt. I'm the general manager of Chicago Style Wrestling. First and foremost, I want to thank you, the fans, for taking the opportunity to come out in droves to our March 19th show, Do Unto Others. I have heard a lot of feedback from many of you about how much you enjoyed the show, and that means the world to us. So thank you. Outwardly, the show was fantastic, but internally, behind the scenes in the locker room at CSW, not so much. Lots of internal problems. Lots of veterans taking liberties and going into business for themselves, and I'm going to call them out right now. First of all, Garrison Creed decides after he wins his #1 contendership is going to get in the face of the general manager and embarrass him publicly. Unacceptable. Then we have Acid Jazz, who decides to creep in the ring, lowball Marshe Rocket, and cost him a future title opportunity. That is unacceptable. Then we have Marco Anthony, the former GM and possessor of a title, but not actually the champion, decides he's going to make matches for the April 16th show. Unacceptable. And then we have my good buddy Vic Capri, the Ice Pick, deciding to go into business for himself and hijack my show and try to physically end the career of our champion, Nick Brubaker, by pile driving him on a steel chair on the concrete floor. Grossly unacceptable. And then he decided to threaten the entire locker room. So all of these men I have issues with, and I will deal with in due course. But the most egregious thing that occurred on that night was the absence of Steve Boz from the event, thus altering the tag team title match. Fortunately, Jake Painter was in to substitute for Steve Boz, and he and TJ did yeoman's work in keeping the show going, and we appreciate their effort. They will be rewarded down the road. But Steve Boz, it's not like him to not come to a show, so immediately we all suspected foul play. And after several weeks of investigation, both on my own, independently, and with the Berwyn local law enforcement, we have come up with video evidence that Steve Boz was not only egregiously attacked, but abducted outside the arena by none other than my good friends, the CNC Destruction Company. Now, Chris Miller and Cody James, not only is that just ghastly stupid to attack somebody in public outside a venue, but to abduct them, well, now you've committed a felony. So after speaking with the board of directors and others in CSW executive capacity, we had come to some conclusions about how we were going to handle this situation legally. But then I got a call from Steve Boz himself, asking me for a favor. Now, Steve Boz has never asked for anything since my tenure as GM of this company has begun. Never asked me for a thing. So I brought his request before the board, and they have granted me the authority to make this happen based on their request. So here you go. The first announced match for the April 16 show as CSW returns to Franklin Park is the tag team champions, the Bruise Brothers, versus CNC Destruction Company. Now, you might be asking me, why would you reward those two idiots with a shot with a match against the Bruise Brothers? Well, that's quite simple. I'm doing it not because I'm rewarding them for their poor behavior or their egregious acts, but because Steve and TJ asked for it. So at their request, this match will be granted, it will be sanctioned, and it will happen April 16th in Franklin Park. This is exciting for the fans. We've been looking to see this match for quite a while now, but there is a stipulation, and the stipulation is this. If TJ Steele and Steve Boz are touched, injured, or accosted in any way between now and the event, not only will CNC Destruction be fired immediately, but we will file legal actions against you, and we will have you arrested. So you better ask yourself if the juice is worth the squeeze if you're going to be cowards again and attack somebody outside a building and then lock them in the trunk of a car. CNC Destruction, I'm talking to you. So there's your first match announcement for the show. That is all I have for you tonight. We will have more in the upcoming days on the Power Hour and the Gorilla Position, and we look forward to seeing all of you in Franklin Park on April 16th. As for the rest of the people I called out on this little presentation tonight, I'll be talking to you individually in the coming weeks. We'll see you all in Franklin Park on April 16th. Good night, everybody.